All right, so welcome back, everybody, to the deep dive. We've been looking into a lot of interesting stuff, but today we're going to switch gears a little bit and head over to Detroit,
Oh, yeah.
specifically the east side.
Okay.
And we're going to be looking into this tragic story that really kind of just shook the city's police force.
Really?
Yeah, it was a hit-and-run case.
Oh, wow.
And we're going to be pulling from this CBS News article. Um, they really did a good job detailing this whole incident.
Okay, cool. Yeah, I'm interested to hear about this, so.
Yeah, and what really makes this case kind of stand out is that, the victim
Uh-huh.
wasn't just any, regular person. It was an off-duty Detroit police officer.
Oh, wow. So that really does add like a whole nother layer to this, doesn't
It
it?
really does. Yeah. I mean, just
Yeah.
think about the kind of impact this must have had on
Yeah.
the police community.
Right.
It's one thing to face danger on the job,
Sure.
but to have a colleague
Yeah.
killed in such a senseless way when they're off duty,
Yeah.
you know?
I can't even imagine.
It must send shockwaves through the entire department.
Absolutely. I think, there's this understanding in law enforcement that risk is just part of the job, right?
Right.
But when it happens to someone outside of that context,
Yeah.
off duty, it kind of shatters that sense of control, that camaraderie they have, because they face those dangers together. But it makes it feel so much more personal,
Right.
almost like a direct attack
Yeah.
on their community.
And, the article mentioned that the authorities are actively investigating this hit and run, but I was curious if there have been any, promising leads
Yeah.
or developments in the case.
Unfortunately, no major breakthroughs have been reported yet. And the fact that the driver didn't even stop just adds another layer to this whole tragic puzzle.
Yeah, it's really disturbing.
It is. It's this blatant disregard for another person's life.
Right. And it's almost like an added insult to the victim and their family.
Oh, absolutely.
And speaking of the family, I think it's really important that we acknowledge
Yes.
the immense grief that they must be experiencing right now.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. Their loss is immeasurable.
Yeah.
And while nothing can truly replace, what they've lost,
Right.
hopefully this investigation will at least bring some answers and some sense of justice.
Yeah, I hope so too. And, this whole incident kind of brings up a much larger issue
Mm-hmm.
that we see not just in Detroit, but all over the country.
Yeah.
And that's the issue of road safety and these hit and runs that keep happening.
It's a big problem for sure.
So it really makes you think, what can we do to prevent tragedies like this?
Well, I think there are a few strategies cities can use.
Yeah.
Like, improving infrastructure is a big one.
Okay.
Think about traffic calming measures like speed bumps or roundabouts,
Uh,
even just narrowing the streets to slow traffic down.
Makes sense.
And then there's technology.
Right. Are there any new tech solutions out there that can help address these hit and runs?
Oh, yeah, absolutely. We're seeing some really cool advancements in traffic camera tech, license plate readers, even AI systems that can analyze traffic and figure out high-risk areas. Yeah. And that data can help with targeted enforcement.
So it's not just about catching people after the fact,
Right.
but it's also about stopping these incidents before they even happen.
Exactly. Prevention is key, but technology alone isn't enough.
Okay.
We also have to strengthen the laws around hit and runs
Mm-hmm.
and make sure they really discourage people from even thinking about it. And
Right.
public awareness is huge, too.
Yeah.
And we need to be reminding people about how devastating these hit and runs can be.
Yeah, definitely a multifaceted approach for a very complex problem.
For sure.
In this case in Detroit, it's just a stark reminder of the real human cost of these incidents.
Absolutely.
It makes us question the safety of our roads and how much we're willing to do to protect each other.
Yeah.
So as we kind of wrap up this deep dive, what do you think is the most important thing for our listeners to take away?
I think it's realizing that road safety is everyone's responsibility.
Right.
Whether you're driving or advocating for better infrastructure or even pushing for better laws,
Yeah,
we all have to do our part to make the roads safer for everyone.
absolutely. And I think this tragedy in Detroit really highlights that.
It does, because it shows that even those who are supposed to protect us,
Yeah.
they're still vulnerable when they're off duty.
Right.
It's a wake-up call for all of us to be more aware and more proactive in making our streets safer.
Couldn't agree more. Well, thanks for breaking down this case with me.
Oh, it was my pleasure.
And as always, folks, stay safe out there.
Yes, be careful.
And we'll catch you in the next deep dive.
See you next time.